Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, today I have some cute little cards that I want to share with you that feature the Rhino Ready bundle. So, let me grab that here. So, this is a new bundle of products that is in the online exclusive section of the Stampin' Up! Store. So you can only find it online. You won't find this in any catalog. So be sure to kind of check the online store out. There's a specific section that says online exclusive, but this is what we'll be using today. So it has some adorable little images in it. And then it also has a coordinating die set. So I'll be using a lot of the dies for the cards today. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So these are the cards that I am going to share with you today. So I don't know if you saw my video on Wednesday, but I have a couple additional card ideas that I'll share with you after we kind of get through these cards. And I did link to my Wednesday video in the description with this video, so you'll be able to see those um, cards as well. So those are really cute. All right, so let's see here. Let's see if I can get us bigger. There we go. Now you guys can see the cards. So these are the cards that I created, and they're so cute. I just used one of the images. There's three different little rhino images, but I just kind of stuck with one for all four of these cards. But of course, you can mix and match the little images as well. So, all right, so let me move these out of the way. And we're going to focus on making these two today. I thought it would be helpful to kind of show you a little trick that I learned as I was putting these cards together and how to put together this tree. So we'll start with these. I think we'll start with this one. Let me just fix my camera here a little bit. There we go. All right. So good morning. Good morning. Okay, so what I am using actually, I'm using some of the Like an Animal designer series papers. So there's lots of different fun little animal patterns in this particular paper pack. And I thought that this paper went really well with this particular stamp set that I'm using. So that's why I decided to use that. So for this first card, I'm just starting with a piece of soft suede cardstock for the base of the card. And then I have some designer paper that I'll be adding. So this piece is 3 by 4 1/4 inches. So I'm just putting this piece directly down the center of the card front. Now you guys can use, whoops, hold on, I got to get my glue here. You guys can use any designer paper that you have on hand with these card layouts, and you can use any supplies. So you don't necessarily have to have the Rhino. This particular card layout will work well with just about anything. So I'm going to add this right down the center. It just gives it a really nice backdrop. All right, so I'm going to set that to the side for the moment because what I want to do before I put the rest of the card together is I just want to show you how to put together these little trees. So these are little die cut shapes that I created from the bundle. I'm just using some Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and then this is just soft suede. And so you'll notice that these little branches of the tree are really tiny. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time gluing them. So what I did is I just flipped over my tree here and my branches and just kind of laid this on the tree. And then I took my dimensionals. I'm going to use some bigger ones actually. I took my dimensionals and then I just used my dimensionals to kind of hold everything in place. So it just made it a lot easier to adhere this tree together instead of trying to glue each individual little piece. So I used some mini dimensionals and then I used some larger dimensionals. See if I can get these two together. And that's how I put together the tree. So it just makes it a little bit easier. Plus, I wanted to pop the tree up onto the card. So this was a great way to do it. So we'll do this. I'm going to add a little dimensional over here. So the little mini dimensionals enable you to just kind of get all those little branches. Okay, so that's how I put together these little trees. All right, let's put this card together here. So the next thing I did is I just cut, I used the radiating stitches die and I just cut a rectangular shape. So it's about 2 5/8 by 4 inches. That's what this piece is. And this is just going to go right across. This is vanilla cardstock, in case you're wondering. And then I have a piece of early espresso cardstock, which is 2 by 4.5. So these two pieces just get adhered together and it makes a really nice little focal point. So yeah, we got a bunch of snow yesterday. So first we had spring weather and then we got snow. So that's Wisconsin for you, I guess. But it looks like it's melting pretty quickly. All right, so this will go right in the center. So that's the basic card layout. So here's why I say that you guys can use this card layout with any supplies you have on hand. So if you don't have the Rhino Ready bundle, you can create a different focal point for the center of this card here. You could actually even do it this way or this way, portrait or landscape style. Okay, so let's get our little rhino out here. I'll show you how I colored the rhino when we do the inside of the card. But for now, I'll just put my little rhino on here. So I had already cut, colored this in and cut it out. So I'll show you how to do that. All right, I'm going to put the tree on. So the tree is going to go off to the left a little bit here. And then this little tree is just going to go right on top. So stackable trees. And then we'll just tuck this one right in, probably right about there is good. And then we'll add our rhino. Isn't that cute? I think it's just a cute little card. So we'll add that little guy. And then the last thing I did is I just used a scrap piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to use some early espresso ink. And I'm going to stamp my little greeting as soon as I grab it. So we will add our greeting. Kind of blending in with my table. Hopefully I got it on the cardstock. There we go. And then all I did was just snip this down with my scissors. So I like to just use the scrap pieces that I have to create my little greetings. So that's going to go right there. So that's pretty much the design. We'll add this right here. And that's what it looks like. So cute, cute little card. And then on the inside, this is how I decorated the inside. I just stamped one of these images on the inside and then just decorated it with some designer paper. So that's what the inside looks like. So I'm going to, and then you can embellish it with whatever you want. I used a couple matte dots to just embellish mine, but I'm going to show you how I colored this little guy. So let me grab this image here. So we'll decorate the piece for the inside so you can get an idea of how I colored this. So I just inked up the image with some Memento, black Memento ink, because I used my Stampin' Blends to color this in. And I just used gray granite. So I have the light shade and the dark shade of gray granite. And you can do this on white or the off-white, the vanilla. Either one it will work well with. So this is the light gray. And I basically just went around and just colored in the image. So the nice thing about the Stampin' Blends is that they color a lot better than just regular markers. You know, you don't get the lines, the coloring lines when you color with blends. Everything just kind of blends together. Hence the name. We'll just add color. All right, so that is the light gray. And then I took the dark and just kind of went around different parts of the rhino. So I keep wanting to call him a hippo, but he is a rhino. All right. So this is the dark shade of gray granite. So I just kind of outlined him a little bit. Just to add, you know, a little bit of shading or that two-tone look. And it's kind of nice because the image has, you know, these little pieces here, these little wrinkles, I guess, I guess you would call them. So I just kind of follow those and uh, add my highlights. Let's see, what's the best way to do this one? Probably this way. There. So that's basically him. Oh, I gotta add some to his tail. So that's how I colored him. Pretty simple to color him, and he looks really cute. So, all right, so this will go on the inside of the card, and I'll add my designer paper and stuff for the inside of that card that I just showed you how to make. All right, so that's the first card. And then the second card is this one. And so for this one, I started with some vanilla cardstock for the base of the card. And then I just cut a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of soft suede cardstock. And then I have, let's see, I got a bunch of pieces here. So let me figure out what I got. I gotta make sure I grab the right ones. I have some pieces cut for the inside and some for the outside. So let's put our tree together right away. I'm going to put this tree together with my dimensionals. So the first two cards here feature this little tree, the trees from the die cut, the die set. Ooh. So I'm just going to add my dimensionals right away. And we got the tree done. And then I already cut and colored this little guy. So we'll just add some dimensionals to this right away. Sometimes I like to just prep everything before I do my assembly. So that's that. And then the next thing I did is I just cut a piece of that designer paper at 1.5 by 4. So that's just going to go on, I'm going to move this here. This is just going to go on the left side. And then I just cut some little pieces of, oops, grabbed the wrong one. Little pieces of early espresso cardstock. So I just kind of created like, this little matting here. So I'm going to adhere the paper first, actually, because then I can push those little pieces up against the paper. So this is a 1.5 by 4. And then these pieces are only a 1/4 inch wide. So it's a 1/4 inch by 4. And then I just put one on each side. So I just wanted to use up some scraps. I had little scrap pieces, and I thought this was just a nice way to use those up. So it creates a fun little design in the background. And then if there's any excess, you can just trim it off with your scissors. That's usually what I do. All right. So this is going to go on our vanilla card base. Whoop. And I got glue all over my finger. We'll add that. And then I used those radiating stitches dies. So those are also in the online store, the online exclusive section. So these are this is where I got the rectangular shapes that I'm using on the card. So these are the radiating stitches dies. And so this time I used a little smaller rectangular shape. So this one is 3 3/8 inches by 2. So that's just going to go right here. But I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to add this. So we'll just add this right here. Make sure I got enough room. So before I push that down, I'm going to put my tree on. And we'll just tuck that underneath there. There we go. So I use liquid glue so that I could do that. So I can tuck that under and kind of scoot this around a little bit. And then I'll put the little rhino on there and we'll add our greeting and that'll pretty much be it. So I'll put that guy on there. And let's stamp our greeting again. And then we'll snip this off and add this. So again, it's a pretty easy layout. It can be used for a lot of different things. And then we'll just add this off to the side here. And then you can embellish it with, whatever you want to embellish it with. And then on the inside, I decorated the inside. So there's a little die cut shape that you can use to create the little grass for the inside. So, all right. So that is card number 2, I'm just going to show you a couple other card ideas. So let me move these out of the way here. Let's bring these back. So these are the 2 I just showed you how to create. And I'll put all these card layouts out on the blog, my blog later today. So I kind of stuck with the brown theme here. And then for these cards, I switched to gray. So the paper is still the same. It's the Like an Animal Designer Series paper. And so this is just kind of a fun little layout. Used up a lot of matte dots here on the side. Kind of gives it, I like that button look. If you haven't figured that out, I like that kind of look. So there's one. And then this was made with gray granite. So I have gray granite and black cardstock there. And then just a very simple design, just a 1.5-inch piece running right down the center of a piece of basic gray cardstock. And then added a little black, and you can add as much or as little. Um, I'm getting a lot of glare, sorry. Maybe I can move these over so it's not so much of a glare. There we go. Uh, Still a lot of glare, but you can see it. So those are the ones that I created. And I'll get all, like I said, I'll get all the measurements and everything out on the blog. And then in my Wednesday video, if you didn't see that, I used those tree images to create some fun little silhouettes. So I let the designer paper, this is designer paper in the background here from the Enjoy the Moment Designer Series paper pack. So I just let that do all the work. And I created that fun little window scene. Here's another one with just a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of designer paper. And this is just a circle shape, a white circle shape that I put on there. And then just did a little bit of sponging. Ooh, you can't really see that because the light is bright. But anyway, so those are some of the other card ideas that I put together using this set. So I did link to that in the description with this video. So if you guys go in the description, there's a link that'll take you to my blog, and you'll be able to see these card ideas. And then once I'm done with the video here, later this afternoon, I'll get the rest of these card ideas out there for you so that you have those layouts that you can use with this set, or you can use those layouts with any other set that you have. So, all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed those card ideas. I had a lot of fun with this set. I think it's a really cute set, and there's lots of possibilities. These are just a few of the many different cards that you can make with this set. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. And I will see you again next week with some more fun card ideas. So, have a wonderful day and a great week. Take care, everybody.